If you're planning on living in a car or a van, you probably have champagne tastes, just like I did 4 years ago when I started. But you might only have the budget for something like this. And if that's the case, you need to watch my video until the end and really take my advice to heart.
You can live very, very comfortably and very, very well in a cheap, older vehicle, but don't just take my word for it. Check this out.
This is my 2008 Toyota Prius. So you can see the mileage here is at 192,049 miles. I bought this car used on Facebook Marketplace in late 2021. I bought it when it had about 163,000 miles on it already. All of my clear coat on the entire roof of the car. There's a bad spot there. I mean, it's all over the place. So this here is what they call the instrument cluster on the Toyota Priuses. So these break a lot and I had to get it replaced. And when they replaced it, as you can see, the Nimrods actually cracked part of the dashboard and they had to use Gorilla Glue on this side. There's the other side, they had to use Gorilla Glue on that side. I have faded paint here on some of the panels.
You're going to be able to do the same exact thing after watching this video, regardless of how cheap your budget is.
When you live full-time in a vehicle, especially when it's used and it's older and it has a lot of miles and it's beat up, the smartest thing that you can do is stay as static as possible. Because as soon as you buy that older vehicle, it is essentially an hourglass with the sand coming through, and it's only a matter of time that it's going to have problems and it's going to need repairs, hopefully not major repairs. Use that vehicle as a source of living, as a source of shelter. You can eat in there, you could sleep in there, you're protected from the elements in there, and that is good enough. And I promise you, if you do that, you will be able to get ahead. So where in 2 years, 3 years, you'll be able to step up to a bigger vehicle, a better vehicle, a newer vehicle. But you have to get to that point first. Function over form. Let me repeat that. It is function over form. Forget about looks. Forget about aesthetics. I know, yes, we're all human and we all get caught up in seeing these gorgeous, beautiful camper vans online and these just fantastic minivan builds and all of that. And look, most of us are in a vehicle because we're being priced out of an apartment or a house, and we don't have a lot of funds. So yes, it's nice to fantasize and all of that. As long as you are sheltered and you are safe from the elements, that is all that matters. So don't get caught up in all of the online baloney. Don't start feeling bad because you don't have a prettier vehicle, because it's only going to lead you to a dead end. Make it the best that you can, by all means. I'm not saying to live in a shitbox. Nobody wants to do that. But just do the best with what you have, and that is more than fine. If you're new to my channel and you haven't watched many of my videos before, one of the things I'm always spouting off on, and it is really, really super duper imperative, you absolutely have to stack money as fast as you can when you live on the road. And not only for emergencies, for your tomorrows, especially when you live in an older vehicle. And the reason why is you only have a certain amount of time until basically it goes kaput one day. And if you're not ready, if you don't have the funds to either fix that vehicle or buy a new vehicle, you will literally be homeless. And I don't mean unhoused, I mean you'll be living on the side of the road. So you need to be prepared for the day that that vehicle dies. My vehicle here, I tell everyone this, I'm going to be driving this, I'm going to be riding this vehicle until the wheels fall off. because that allows me to put more money in my pocket each and every day. It is imperative that you know when to cut your losses with when it comes to repairs. And believe me, I know that's easier said than done, because our vehicles are our homes. You know, to sell it and move everything into a new vehicle and that whole charade and all of that work and all of that stress, it's a bitch. It's a bitch. But, you know, if your car is only worth $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 and you're putting in multiple thousands of dollars in repairs, you're just not going to get ahead. It's that simple. So very, very important. Know when to cut your losses on your car. You absolutely have to find a quality, honest mechanic. Keyword honest. Now that's important even if you have a new car, right? Common sense. But especially when you live on the road, and even more so when you have an older vehicle, a used vehicle, if it has high mileage and it's beat up. You know, I have 2 mechanics. I trust these guys with my life. Yes, they're a little bit expensive, but I know that they're not ripping me off, and that's key. Because when people know that you live in a vehicle, especially mechanics, most mechanics are dirty, just hucksters, and they will take advantage of you, especially, again, if they know you live in a vehicle. You need to find someone that's going to work with you rather than against you. Here's a bonus tip for you, and look, I know it's common sense, yes, but you would be surprised how many nomads that I know personally, and they don't have any AAA, they don't have any roadside assistance whatsoever. To me, I'm sorry, that is just plain dumb. So here's what I do. I'm not suggesting you do this, but I have 3 forms of roadside assistance. I have my insurance company's roadside assistance, which is horrible. Like most insurance companies, they only give you maybe 15, 20 miles. Very, very bad. But I have that as like a last place kind of backup thing. I also use AAA. That's my second form of roadside assistance. And I use another company. I'm not endorsing them. I'm not being paid for them to say this. It's called Better World Club. You can look it up, Better World Club. They are fantastic. They're actually better than AAA. So definitely have some type of roadside assistance. And if you could have 2 or 3, that is even better. So this last tip that I have, and it's probably one of the most important out of all my tips, is it's mainly a psychological one. It's a shift in mindset that you have to do while you're on the road. So the biggest thing that I could tell you is appreciate what you have. Appreciate what you have. It's very, very simple, and it's easier said than done. You know, when you're in a vehicle, even if it's old and beat up and dusty and broken down and it has 1,000,000 miles on it, you have something. You have protection. You can eat in your vehicle. You could sleep in your vehicle. You know, it's better than being in a box on the side of the road, okay? As for myself, and this might sound crazy to a lot of people out there watching this, and I truly, truly mean this, I do not consider myself homeless at all. At all. I just look at this as a fun adventure. And yes, when I say fun, of course, this lifestyle has challenges involved and it's not always so easy. But again, we could be sleeping in front of a storefront. You know, at the end of the day, let's call a spade a spade. I mean, we're really not roughing it here. You know, I mean, this is glamping, okay? We're in a car. We have access to heat if we need it and air conditioning, and we're not getting wet and snowed on. So appreciate what you have. I know I keep saying it. Don't get down about your situation. Think about your tomorrows. Follow the other, you know, things that I mentioned in this video, and trust me, if you follow my advice, your tomorrows will be brighter, regardless of what your todays are.